Thanks for joining us. This is Platform on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ruth Aguela. When there is violation of human rights, there is bound to be complaint, and it is the right of every citizen to seek justice where necessary. As a society without the necessary statutory rights to redress workers' rights, that society is said to be doomed. When rights are trampled upon, the expected unique role of the Ombudsman is serving moral equity, fair play, and social justice in the society. For Nigeria, the Public Complaints Commission plays that unique role. It was established in 1975. Now, the PCC was created with powers to control administrative excesses, non-adherence to procedures, or abuse of law. The PCC is also empowered to receive and treat complaints, investigate any matter contrary to any law or regulation. Part of its mandates include to protect the rights of citizens, to act as an indirect check on the misuse of powers by administrators, amongst others. So how well has the PCC carried out its mandate in ensuring justice for complainants? What are the latest operations talking about the PCC and challenges faced by the Commission? Our focus on Platform today is on public complaints and national development. And our guest is the Honorable Commissioner for FCT for the Public Complaints Commission, Dalhatu Ezekiel Musa. Thank you very much for joining us on Platform.
Thank you.
We're pleased to have you here.
Thank you.
Let me take you through a bit of his profile. Honorable Dalhatu Ezekiel Musa has a national diploma in banking and finance from Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa, National Certificate Education in Psychology, Bachelor of Science from Nasarawa State University, Kefi, Mass Communication, also Nasarawa State University. He has Masters in Science, Forensic Psychology, also from Nasarawa State University. He is a professional member of the National Association of Psychologists, an honorary member of National Association of Political Scientists, as well as honorary advisor, National Association of Psychological Students. He has worked as a personal assistant on media to the Honorable Minister of the FCT, that was in 2014 to 2015. He worked as the Coordinator General, Coalition of FCT Indigenous Associations. He is the head of media, Office of the 9th Senate Minority Whip, and FCT Senate, still serving that position till date, and presently the Commissioner for FCT Public Complaints Commission. Dalhatu Ezekiel Musa believes that all works without play makes someone a weak subject. You're going to explain that to us in the course of this discussion. I want to understand what you mean by that. Okay, we have a panelist join us, a reporter from Voice of Nigeria, Rahila Lassa. Thank you very much for joining us on Platform.
Thank you.
Okay, so Honorable Commissioner, like I said, we're looking at public complaints and national development in Nigeria. So once again, welcome to Platform.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here once again.
All right, now, you know the operation of the Ombudsman differs from country to country. Now, when we talk about the Ombudsman, we're looking at the person in charge when it comes to redress for the justice of the rights. But you're the one to explain that for us. If we're looking at public complaints in Nigeria over the years, going to 45 years, if I'm correct, from 1975, how has it fared, you know, in its dealings with Nigerians?
Yeah, I'm glad to actually get this privilege of being on the platform, because it's about the biggest platform ever on the terrestrial to educate Nigerians on what you do. And so giving us this opportunity to really come over here to let Nigerians know what we do, it's that we don't take for granted. And so I appreciate the NTA, government agency also, who is basically to ensure that the policies of government are well interpreted and then well, published to the general public. Public Complaints Commission, just like you say, the root word there is public and then complaints.
Yeah.
Basic two words, root words, public and complain. And so by that, we deal with the public and also the complaints that are out there from the general public. As dynamic as human beings are, you are bound to have these complaints. And so in the wisdom of government, yes, there are other government law enforcement agencies of government, the police, the prison, the correctional center, and all of that. But in the wisdom of government, established by Decree 135 in 1975, just like you rightly said, was to have an instrumentality that will be closer to the people, an avenue where they will be very free to approach government agency to ventilate their grievances. As it concerns maladministration, as it concerns excesses of some government agencies and even private sectors against the rights of individuals. Public complaints, the way we operate to deal with the public, just like you said, but we are segmented into two. We have departments that deals with public issues, like public sectors, where you have government agencies, you have ministry, parastatals department, and all of that. Then we also have department that deals with private sector, relying on the karma, the private companies and individuals and all of that. So the wisdom of the commission is such that we'll be able to segment and we'll be able to have a very easy analysis when we are handling these issues. Workers who has issues that has to do with stagnation of promotions, has to do with lopsidedness in employment, has to do with unlawful dismissal from service. Just because somebody don't like your face, they just decide to just trample on you and then decide to show you the way out. The Public Complaints Commission is there to help you seek redress and ensure that the right thing is done. And over the years, the general public can testify we have been living up to our mandate. Right from the day late Metama Sule, he was the first chief commissioner, I remember, and then down to us, we have been doing all we can as mandated by the Constitution. And let me say this quickly, that public complaint is just one among many other government agencies that is constitutionally established. Most of
we have the Human Rights Commission.
Yeah,
obviously.
but there are other commissions that are just the act of the National Assembly. But public complaint is a constitutional agency, as amended in 2014 to make it. 2004 to make it embedded in the Constitution itself. So it's a constitutional institution that an act of National Assembly cannot just wave it away. It must take the route of entire constitutional amendment. So that's how strong and powerful Public Complaint Commission is, because it is a commission that the strength lies with the public.
I like the fact that you said it has the strengths, the powers, and it's embedded in the Constitution. But how effective has it been in ensuring fair play, equity, and social justice for people?
Unfortunately, many Nigerians do not know the opportunity they have in public complaints. And also, we can't take away the fact that the publicity, the awareness and the sensitization might have not gotten deep into the hearts of many Nigerians. But Public Complaints Commission is not a toothless bulldog. It's a powerful government institution that deals with seeking redress for so many injustices and maladministration and the excesses, flexing of muscles by some administrators. It's been effective all these years. I can give you an example. As I speak, I assume office in July this year, and as I speak, I have treated over 1,000 complaints.
Within July and now?
Them. Yes, and resolving them amicably. We've been able to recover funds without necessarily taking anybody to court, without ever locking up anybody. Using the instrumentalities that we have, we've recovered not less than 10 to 15 million.
From government MDS?
Not just government MDS. individuals that have entered into some form of agreement, and then the other person try to like what's it called, bridge it. Some other person who try to like in the form of defrauding or all of that. Once we have such complaints, we act swiftly on them and then amicably resolve them, and the people return what is due the other person amicably, and we document them and we move on. So it's a whole lot that we do. As we speak, among these cases, there are people who are unlawfully dismissed from.
We see that happen all the
and
time.
then we have ensured they are reinstated after all investigation, and we come to understand that the right thing was not done. And so a whole lot of things that we do in public complaint.
You talked about people not aware of the many opportunities that lie in public complaints commission. So what is the commission doing to ensure that people, on awareness? Are you collaborating or working with any government organization?
Just like I say, a whole lot we're doing, especially now that we are new on board, and then we have agreed collectively among the 37 commissioners, including the chief commissioner, to change the narrative and ensure we up the anthem of the commission. And that's why recently, and why I'm even here, was as a result of my courtesy visit to the DG just recently, where I officially writing to come on an official working visit. The idea was to synergize and to partner with NTA to see how we can educate the general public the more. And you can see that swiftly he acted and created this platform. He told me that expressly that you're going to be on a platform to speak to Nigerians of the opportunity we have in there about Public Complaint Commission and what you are actually doing. And so what we are doing differently now is to ensure that we take the message back home, using all the avenues and mediums to educate Nigerians about the workings of Public Complaints Commission. As we speak, we have constituted a team that will be doing the grassroots awareness at the worship centers, in church, in mosques, in marketplace, in schools, in government institutions. As we speak, we have ensured that we have these boxes, complaint boxes, all over government agencies and institutions and their secretariats and offices, and then with some form of flyers to also tell people the opportunity they have in Public Complaints Commission. So we're doing a whole lot, media sensitization, outreaches, just to let the general public know what we're doing.
Okay, and the Public Complaints Commission goes beyond the FCT. Now, you're in charge for FCT.
Yes.
I know that it cuts across the 36 states of the country. If this kind of campaign is going to be carried out in the FCT, because you're just telling us what you will be doing in the FCT as the head here, what is the synergy like with other commissioners across the states? Because we have seen a lot of unfair, unjust, oppressive, acts being played out on citizens, and people who don't even know where to go to complain accept that injustice as part of their reality.
It's sad, but just like I said, the 36 commissioners, including FCT, making 37, and the chief commissioner, we normally do what we call plenary.
Okay.
At the plenary, we meet. It used to be quarterly, but to tell you the zest, the zeal the chief commissioner has and all other commissioners to ensuring that we up the anthem, we have made it within 2-3 months. We meet at plenary, and what do we do at plenary is to sit down, x-ray, analyze situations, because the commissioners are in charge in their states.
Yes.
So all the complaints they have in their states, they bring up to the table how they have solved them and what they have lingering, and then how best to approach it. We'll discuss them and trash them out. And so a whole lot has been happening. It's not as if there is a state lagging behind or something, because there is a commissioner in charge. And so they are actually doing what is expected of them. And as I speak to you, we will be meeting before the end of the year again to x-ray, analyze the case, some of these complaints that we have, how best have we treated it. The idea of this roundtable parley is such that I should be able to share my experience. I should be able to share some ideas on how best I have handled similar issue for you to apply it. The idea generally, what our center point, what we are more concerned is to deliver service to Nigerians.
Rahila? Okay, all right. Now, talking about seeking redress for people with promotion stagnation, unjust dismissal, does the Commission at the state level cover only the federal civil servants, or it also covers the civil servants at the state level?
No, I want you to understand very clearly that, just like I said, we actually don't have any boundary. Okay. It's public and it's complaint. Okay. So whatever complaint you have, even at the private sector, not just government agency, even at the private sector, because they are guided by the rules, you know, the CAMA, the Company Align Matters, they have their rules of engagement, how to recruit, what's it called, their workers, even the wages and all of that. So at any point, anybody feel his right have been trampled upon, even at the, what's it called, private sector level, you bring up your complaint, we take it up. Whether local government, states, or federal, whatever, wherever you are, if you bring up the complaint, we'll just investigate and ensure the right
just for clarity,
so there is no boundary.
Okay, just for clarity regarding what she just asked. Now, does it goes beyond workers only? What about people who are not doing anything and their rights are being trampled?
Yeah,
Do they have...
I just said it, that what we deal with is public and their complaints. Whether you are a civil servant, you are a private whatever, or an artisan, or just a normal citizen who just wake up. Okay, like I give you an example. Among these complaints I told you I have received, I have resolved some. Among them, we have complaints that has to do with high electricity tariff from Nigerians. If you have been following up, just last week or thereabout, I addressed the press to bring to front burner and to the knowledge of general public the kind of complaints we are having and what we're doing about them. Because our dealings that has to do with the public, we also have the responsibility of informing the public of what we are doing about their complaints.
And the
so
kind
some
of
the issues, some of the issues I addressed the press on were issues that my analysis and statistics of complaint showed that they seems to be at the highest ladder. The issue of electricity tariff, for instance, avalanche of these complaints that I received are not from either director or civil servant, grade level, these common Nigerians, you know, the masses who are out there. Privately, you can just write. I have also addressed the issue of the charges with the DSTV, the multi-choice or
it's
whatever.
Still there.
Yeah, we've also had complaints from Nigerians.
So has that been resolved? Because it's still there.
I can't tell you it has been resolved.
Because
from
it's
my
not been
end,
resolved.
From my end, is work ongoing. It's work in progress, because what we do when we take these complaints, let me tell you just the workings of public complaints. When you approach us with complaint, either verbal or written, you know, or through mail or whatever form, once you approach us with your complaint, we analyze this complaint and then investigate what you are telling us in form of verifying facts about what you are telling us. And once we get to receive it, after analyzing, we'll know the exact agency or whatever institution that is in charge of it. And we call their attention directly to this. Like in the case of DSTV, we've written to the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy to draw their attention to these complaints of Nigerians. And I've also given our recommendation of what we feel should be done. That's how government works. We can just unilaterally just go to the multi-choice and start to issue sanction and all of that. There are relevant government agencies who are also saddled with the responsibility of checkmating what they do. And so we have done that, as I say, in form of recommendation, telling the ministry that this is what we feel should be. Let it be pay as you consume. If there is no more estimated meter billing now, And we have made you to pay as you earn, the prepaid meter. If you are leaving your house, like going to work, you put off your TV or refrigerator, everything, and you have 10 units. Factor that you will come back and still meet your 10 unit intact because you did not consume the power. And we are saying in public complaints, and what every other Nigerian is saying is the multi-choice should be based on what you consume. Because what is obtainable now is when you recharge your DSTV, for instance, and then for 3, 4, 5 days, there is a breakdown in Kainji, and there is power outage, and your generator isn't there or not even working for 3, 4, 5 days. You will just know that 1 month you said you have paid for, you already have 5 days off it. Or you even travel and not even use it at all. After a month, it's said to be expired. So we are saying it's a form of like exploiting people. Let it be that if you recharge your DSTV, you ought to first consume the product before you are made to renew your payment, just like it's applicable with the AEDC.
So how soon do you think that could be resolved?
Yeah, we
because
hope
it has taken like ages.
Yeah, we just pray it's resolved as quickly as possible. And what we do also in public complaint, we don't rest on our oars. Like we've done this recommendation, we will do follow up. Yeah, that's how we work. We'll do follow up and ensure the right thing is done as at when due.
Okay, now Ombudsman worldwide is empowered to initiate investigations. From your findings, from your investigations with complaints and the alleged party, has there been any form of interference that could affect justice?
In any society, because human beings are dynamic, and interests anytime will always come to play. There is no any government institution that some people will not want to interfere in what you do. But the good news is nobody will ever succeed because you have a mandate you get, and then you are empowered by the Constitution to do what you want to do. Some of these interference are not usually maybe to induce anybody, but some people will just feel, I'm here, why are you trying to like put sansan in my own gari? For simply saying the right thing should be done. These are form of interferences. But as an ombudsman, knowing the powers we have from the Constitution, we don't get deterred. And we don't get intimidated in doing what we are doing. Mostly, why we succeed is because the strength of what we do lies in investigation. And because we are very close to the people approach us freely to give us some of this information. And so when we approach it with our evidence and with what we have, it's overwhelming most of the time. So yes, some people may want to interfere, but we are always up on our games.
Okay, so how much do you protect the identity of those complainants? Because there are so much fear by many people that when they complain maybe about their bosses or their workplaces, there could be a kind of witch hunt or something.
Confidentiality in public complaint is key. It's part of the ethic we uphold highly. Like you could hear from marketplaces and local palaces, many people wouldn't want to go to police station, or they fear, or if I go, and I mean they go come catch at the end of the day. You know, that mentality is there. It's a wrong perception.
Because a lot of people have fallen victim for what they do not know.
But professionally, police will tell you this is not obtainable, you know. But for Public Complaints Commission, and let me tell you, part of what we face in the country, in Nigeria, you know, exposure and then some level of sensitization is key. For a learned man who is well-schooled, who is exposed to some certain extent, will not want to just, with this mere perception, say, I will not go to police. But the local person in the rural community will have this perception. And then because public complaint is government agency that is being taken down to the downtrodden, to the people at the grassroots, so they have this, they repose this confidence in us to come freely and ventilate whatever information we want to get from them. Like I tell you, in the wisdom of public complaint, we don't centralize our offices. As I speak to you in FCT, for instance, we have our area offices scattered around FCT, the 6 area council. In Abaji, we have a full-fledged public complaint office where people can go freely and then give out information. In Kwali, in Boari, in Gwagwalada, in Koji, in Kuje. In Amak, for instance, we have 3 offices. I'm about establishing the 4th one. We have in Karo, in Karishi, the house kids. We are coming up with one around Gwarimpa, to take care of this Karimo, Gwagwa, and all of that. And then we have one in Apo, Amak Secretariat there, and then where I'm seated, the Commissioner's office in Sunnyvale. So the idea is to ensure that we take this instrumentality of government down and closer to the people. And people are actually seeing this and reposing confidence to approach us with it. So confidentiality in especially that has to do with protection of your informant, people who are giving information, is always all we need. Just give us the information and we are left with an investigation. Secondly, let me say this, because many Nigerians don't know this. Let me say this. Secondly, the ombudsman has the constitutional backing to even initiate an investigation on his own without anybody complaining to.
Okay, now, what, as a follow-up to her question and what you've just said, that could work only for, the public, the general public, when you're not making a particular complaint about an administrator. Because if you're the one that your right is being trampled on in an organization, for instance, and you are laying a complaint against a particular administrator because there's been an unfair treatment, how do you protect such a person? Because the case is obvious.
I understand what you're saying, and practically, it's been playing out. You will see someone who is being stagnated for promotion for obvious reasons. Mostly that is best known to the administrator. And then he will approach you and say, this is what I'm facing. In most cases, maybe he tried to play funny and I said no, And then they will try to blah, blah, blah. When you say, okay, can you put it into writing? He will say, no.
I will get into trouble.
The fear of victimization.
Yes.
We are aware of this. And so what do? Just give us the needed, the needed facts. And then what we need to know, just give us the true story of it with the facts. We will know how to go about it.
So how
and
do
just
you
like
come
I said,
in without
let me just say it, just like I said. If I write or approach any government institution or any administration as an ombudsman, telling him there is a case like this, and going by our record, this person was employed so year, and going by our record, this person have enjoyed only one promotion over the years, and going by our record, this person have gone through the rudiment, the criteria, requisite requirement needed to be promoted, but we have also found out that this person has been stagnated unlawfully all this while. Can you please explain?
Wouldn't there be question of why the interest for this particular person? Why not so number of persons? If you've done your investigation
it's not in his place to say why the interest. The question is this thing happening? Is there any case like that? You address it. So you don't do all the ball passing to say why this person, why not others. Just explain to us. If you provide us necessary information as to why this person is not promoted, maybe this person have written promotion and could not pass the exams, or this person did not even fill upper form, for instance, or this person over the years did not have the requisite requirement to be promoted to the rank he ought to be. These are his defense, and it has to be with facts and figure, because the way government and civil service work is not with verbal confession. It has to be with papers. And we that we are approaching such institution, we are approaching them with our documents. First day of employment, last promotion, because you are supposed to be promoted after 3 years.
Yes.
If you are qualified, because we know there are so many intricacies to involve. Yes, there are so many requirements. But what happened when this person have meet up all these requirements? Why won't you simply just promote the person? So you give us the answer. Then as you reply us, you provide your answers to us. We also interrogate your answers. And then there is a way we will verify what you are telling us. We can even go further to compare notes with other agencies or departments in that same institution.
Okay. Rahina?
So have you had any case or situation where someone lodged a complaint with you, and then afterwards the person is being punished maybe by a boss or a superior in the office? And in such cases, what do you do?
Yeah, I told you I resumed July. It's possible this is happening, but I have not come across that yet.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's very rare anyway, because once they know there is a watchdog, because what we do more or less, we're a watchdog. Once they know the government agency, who is a watchdog, is involved in all of this, they will also be careful in victimizing anybody unnecessarily. Yeah.
Okay. Now on employment and on employment matters, how is the Public Complaints Commission related to the Federal Character Commission? Do you have any similarity?
Yeah, a whole lot. You know, just like I keep saying, government agencies operate in synergy. Okay. At any point in time we have any complaint that has to do with lopsidedness in recruitment and all of that, we take it off first with the Federal Character Commission,
Okay.
who are the watchdog in checkmating some of this. And once we take it up with them and we'll get the information needed from them, then the agency in question, who has gone against the rule of law, will now be approached with overwhelming document and evidence that, hey, what you did is not in line with the spirit and letters of Federal Character Commission, and we'll call your attention to it.
And one aspect that has been observed, that could be an obstacle to the performance of the Commission's duty is the non-enforcement of recommendations. You have the power to recommend, you don't prosecute. So after your recommendations, is there a follow-up to ensure that there is effective implementation of what you have suggested? Because you can't spend so much time, resources, investigating, and at the end of the day, no result to show for it.
Sorry, we prosecute. That's
Okay,
one of the information Nigerians don't know.
Okay.
And it's important I'm here to educate Nigerians.
Okay.
We may not prosecute directly.
Okay.
You understand? We cannot sit as a court to prosecute you and charge you to prison and all of that. But we can approach the court of law through our lawyers from public complaint with our overwhelming evidence and all the investigation we have done against you, and then lodge what's it called? The proceeding for prosecution in favor of our clients.
That's part of the follow-up.
Yes.
Okay.
And all of this is done pro bono. You don't need to pay. If you have reported to us, we investigate. At a point, we do what we call case conference, if need be, where all the parties will be invited for fair hearing. And then we'll give recommendation, and then you will decide to go against it deliberately, and it's getting to a point that this person is... We have sister agencies. Sometimes if it has to do with criminal issue,
Okay.
we will write and then refer it to the police to take over from there. And there is no way police will see anything from us with the overwhelming evidence, with the work we have done, and the level at which we have reached, and then they will not take it up. They will take it up. And also, if it is issue that has to do with economic crimes and crimes and we have the EFCC. We refer. So a whole lot of, that's why I say we synergize with other sisters agencies of government for us to actually get results.
Yeah, because you have to perform your duty within, when you're displaying your powers, it has to fall within your jurisdiction.
Yeah.
It shouldn't go beyond what you cannot do.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that since you came on board, July, just a few months down the line till now, you've been treating about 1,000 cases and preferring over 1,000 cases and preferring solutions to that. You keep a data bank for your complaints when they're lodged? I'm talking generally now. Does the commission have
Of
that?
course, of course. That's why if you come to the commission, there are files. Any case that comes before us, we even open a file for it, so we can have adequate documentation. At any time you want to refer back to it, or you have to. And at any time we take up any case and we treated it and resolve, we close the case. So as I talk to you, we have what we call closed cases, and then we have the ones that are ongoing. There are cases I met that have been ongoing for the past 2-3 years. And you can't do anything because there are some cases that instrumentally the person is coming over and then you are resolving it like that. So it lingers for some time. Human beings, just like I say, are so dynamic, and so treating the cases, you will try to be very civic. You understand? To be civil with whatever we do, so that, see, let me tell you how public complaint works. What we do is such that when we resolve any case between you and your twin sister, it will be such that you won't see her as an enemy tomorrow.
She's actually not my twin
You
sister.
will become more, the relationship will be cordial going forward, because the way and manner at which we will resolve it, you will see reason why you should apologize to this person for doing A, B, C, D to the person. You understand? So that's why Public Complaints Commission is not supposed to be a conventional court, but an instrument of government to resolve so many issues. I tell you for free that most issues we have today in Nigeria that seems unsurmountable, that seems very big crisis, agitation here, as a result of small issues that crop up from this grassroots. If they were nip on the board, immediately you won't have some of this unrest that we have. Some people have agitation for simply because they are marginalized, for simply because somebody just come and take over everything they have, and then they can't say anything. Then tomorrow they go and take up arms and they want to reclaim what is due them. What happened? What if this was nip on the board at that level?
Now
immediately?
that's where the commission comes
That is
in.
what I'm telling you. That's what we do. That's the strength of what I'm just giving you this part, so you understand what we do, and you will see reason and applaud and actually see what we do as Public Complaints Commission. We deal with issue at the grassroots level, at that nursery level, before they even get to any level.
But we still see these agitations, we still see these grievances and all of that. So the need for more awareness, it's really critical.
Yeah, just like I told you, what we are doing. In fact, let me just...
Because there's still a lot of people who don't understand your powers.
Let me be sincere to you. We have challenges, especially that has to do with funding. Just recently, when we came on board, we have raised it through the Honorable Chief Commissioner. We've raised it, and we have done our homework, our paperwork. We are a brainchild of the Senate, of the National Assembly, so to say. And we have approached them, and graciously, they are looking into it to ensure that the budget of 2022 takes care of funding of the Public Complaints Commission. I watched the Chairman Committee on Ethics and Public Petition presenting our budget, defending our budget, to let the Senate, the National Assembly, see reason why this should be captured, because we do a whole lot of things resolving issues. As I speak to you, we are also looking at national dialogue. Public complaint is coming up with things that has to do with, in the wisdom of the Chief Commissioner and all the Commissioner, national dialogue. What do we have to achieve by this? We even intend to do local government by local government, where you will sit with people and then get to hear their grievances, and then take home, go analyze it, and even provide solutions. There are solutions that are immediate. There are some that has to take a little time. But for them to even have confidence that government is working on my issue gives them some sense of belonging, and then they will relax. But when people feel I'm not being listened to, when people feel neglected, they don't have any sense of belonging, they decide to take the other route, which is unpalatable to anybody.
Does that also cover like intercommunal clashes?
All of that. Okay. Because when you talk of grievances, when you talk of complaints, these are the indices. These are the indices. What causes communal clashes? Small issues. Trespass. This one slapped me the other day. I went out, and the way they treated our chief, we are not cool with it. Why would they do this to him? His car was small issues that will metamorphose and become a very big one, and people are dying everywhere, killing people everywhere, taking arms everywhere. So the mandate of Public Complaints Commission is that we ensure that some of these complaints are reduced to a minimal level, to an insignificant decimal number.
Okay, what about the amendment for the Act of the Commission? Because I remember during the swearing in July, the Senate President said the National Assembly is going to look into that. Since 2004, there's been no, revision of that.
Yeah, just like I said, this set of commissioners that we have now are really, really ready to up the ante.
So are you already making recommendations?
We have already done our paperwork as it has to do with submission for the amendment of the Act.
Okay.
The issue of enforcement that you just asked, we have tried to fizzle it in to the amendment. If you check our Act, there is a place we can even find individuals, yes, where we can find people. If you don't do this, you are liable to a fine of so. The fine there is 500 naira. And this fine has been there since 1975. So if you tell somebody, because you did not come to answer the call of public complaint, I fine you 500 naira, it doesn't mean anything to the person. So these are the things we are amending in the Act, establishing Public Complaints Commission. So we are recommending that the fine should be 500 naira then should be equivalent to 5 million or 500,000 for instance, and all of that. And the issues that has to do with enforcement and issues that has to do with blacklisting. If a company have perpetually become stubborn and adamant to our recommendation based on the way and manner is treating its staffs, based on the way and manner it has refused to carry out public social corporate responsibility, we should tell the government that this particular company does not want being here. We write, and they can be blacklisted. So a whole lot of things we are trying to put together in the amendment so we can be more stronger, even though we are strong, but more stronger.
Yes, because your powers are really...
Yeah.
So in the whole of this, how well is your staff equipped to do this job?
Yeah, the staff equipment is part of the budgetary allocation that we're talking about to really see how they can. Recently, our staff, their pay is nothing to write home about. And we have just also, it has been approved to migrate them from public service, whatever, to legislative aid consolidated, so that the take-home, the pay will be more reasonable. And we believe that if that is done, it has a way of raising their morale, because when the morale is raised and is high, it means that alone is an equipping of the staff to do a great job. Then aside that, we have issue of logistics and mobility. In most cases, we don't even have vehicles enough the way we want that will be going for all of this investigation and on-the-spot assessment and all of that. So it's part of what we requested in the budget so that we'll have all it takes to really deliver.
What about training and retraining?
Yeah, training and retraining also is part of it. Yeah, it's personal. It's part of it.
Really
it's part of it. Training. Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of it, and something is being done on that.
Okay, now the Commission has been in the forefront, to bring succor to underprivileged Nigerians from all you've been saying. Now, it has no power to question or challenge the decision of the court. What if there is an unfair play, to a certain case? What happens?
There again, a wrong perception about Public Complaints Commission. That's why I say we have a whole lot of power.
It's good we're talking about it. It's good because people have a lot of perception about
Public Complaints Commission, the way we work, once there is any matter in court, we don't interfere.
Okay.
The court is allowed expressly to deal with it. But once a judgment is given, which signifies this matter before the court have ended. And then somebody feel there is an injustice playing out in the process of these court proceedings.
Because there's a judgment.
Public Complaints Commission has the mandate, has the constitutional right to check the administrative processes that led to that judgment. We have the constitutional mandate to check the administrative processes that led to that judgment.
So how do you undo the judgment?
Yeah, a whole lot. There are so many things I can't start saying them on the public clear.
Okay.
Because there are so many other ways that we go about it. Sometimes we have to even do the one I told you, the plenary.
Okay.
With our lawyers, because the strength of public complaint is the legal officers that we have with our lawyers and all of that to x-ray what we are seeing as loopholes in it. And then you should know that all these courts, whatever agencies and all that, they have a regulatory bodies. There is NJCs, National Judicial Council, and all of that. So at any time we check and there is any lacuna or loophole anywhere, through the administrative processes, we take it on with the regulatory body that will ask them to do what is right.
Rahina? Okay. Now, let's look at how much impact the Commission has made if we're looking at quality and standards in its administration to Nigerians. If you want to put a measure, ask a question earlier about the data bank. Now, I know why I'm asking. A lot of Nigerians will say how many cases you've been able to keep your records from July till now, more than 1,000. What about the general bank over time? The Commission has been existing for years, almost getting close to 50 years. So, will you address?
Yeah, I think if what we do in public complaint is to give annual report of what we do yearly.
Okay.
So as I speak, it's very easy. Every state brings their annual report of cases they receive, cases resolved, and cases ongoing. We call them live cases. That means it's still ongoing. Now, with this, you can simply just do your tally and get it. And then I know also that every year the Commission used to address the press and then also do a publication of what we do. So I just feel all I urge Nigerians is to always follow us up. Sometimes I can't just bring them out from my head, the figures.
When you say follow us up, the world has evolved. Technology is driving everything.
Yeah.
Are you
we
very
have our
active in social media?
Yes, we are active in social media. In fact, as I speak to you, from the FCT, with collaboration with my Chief Commissioner at the headquarters, we will be launching our app in January.
Okay.
Yeah, app for the Commission. We've come up with it.
But that's long overdue.
Yeah, but then it doesn't matter if we are doing it now. It's better that you've never done it before. So we're doing an app. Just recently, EFC also launched an app, I think around May, July, June or thereabout. So it's not out of place. We feel this technology should be injected to what we're doing. So all this data, at any time anybody want to get them, you can easily get those data of what we are doing.
Final question, Rahila?
Yeah, okay. So talking about an app, what happens to the people at the hinterland, the people in the rural area that cannot maybe read or write or are not very much conversant with technology? Are you planning of setting up like a call center or something?
Yeah, we actually have a call center already where people can phone in.
Every local government area?
Not every local government area, but just like I said, people at the hinterland have us there. Okay. That's what we call the area offices. They are all over the place. You get. And so the people at the hinterland, the other hinterland you're talking about, the ones in the real rural areas, truth be told, we can't cover everywhere in the country. But as awareness gets closer to the people, they will always find a way of reaching us. Yeah.
And I asked, I told you earlier when we started this conversation that you're going to tell us what you mean by your slogan, all work without play makes you a weak subject. Now, you're not referring to yourself, but any person who cares to listen.
It's from that popular saying that all works without play make Jack a dull boy. So if you are dull, you are weak.
So how would the Commission, as we round up this conversation, ensure that they enhance their strength not to be a weak subject, so to say?
Clearly speaking, and part of what we're doing here, what we believe in public complaint is that this institution is service-driven to serve Nigerians, to render service, and not just public complaint. Any government agency at all in this country, what we ensure is that service delivery is key. Nobody, I repeat, nobody, no government institution, including public complaint, is doing anybody any favor. They are simply rendering the service as mandated them to do, and that's our watchword.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner Delhatu Ezekiel Musa. Thank you for your time on platform.
Thank you.
Thank you for educating us and letting the people know that they have a right.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Rahila Lassa from Voice of Nigeria, a reporter, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks too.
All right, we've been talking about public complaints and national development. It is your right as a citizen to ensure that there is fair play, equity, and social justice. Like he said, their mandate, talking about the Commission, is to ensure that they give you the desired justice you seek. That's Platform. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.